It's not for nothing that the masterpieces of painting have inspired dozens of conspiracy theories and mystery stories. They're so old that it's impossible to ask the artists what he was thinking when they made them. Of Purchase's creation often hides a message, a way of conveying one's opinion on important subjects of society. This is probably why our imagination tries to find hidden messages and symbols there. Of course, these notes are generally intended to be discreet but have appeared to the eyes of very observant people or who simply have the right tools. Sometimes you also need to have access to the original painting to see them. We invite you today to take a closer look, without pun intended, at her paintings to see the little secret she hides. But before starting, I am giving you this little challenge. I know you are capable of it, and I am counting on you to achieve it. Well, here is the challenge. Is simple: to reach 50 likes. As simple as that. I count on your reactivity to achieve it. Our little quiz of the day is to find out which is the most expensive masterpiece in the world. Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci, Pablo Picasso's Dream, The Cry of Edvard Munch, Van Gogh's Scene. You already know the song. We meet at the end to know the right answer. Let's start. The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo. Like other painters and his sidekick Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo is renowned for hiding many secrets in his art. Take a little height and get closer to the divine painting on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. We can observe God gave a spark of life to Adam. This part of his work is called The Creation of Adam. It is a very well-known painting throughout history. It was painted in the 1500 seconds. Several hypotheses all try to explain this painting, which prominently features God and Adam. If we look more closely, we can observe that the finger that God stretches out to Adam is extended to the maximum, but that the knuckles of the hand that his creature Adam stretches back are contracted. This detail may seem trivial but gives off a strong message, which is this message. It has been interpreted by several high religious. He says this: God is there, but the decision to seek it belongs to the man. If he wants to extend his finger, he will touch that of God. But if he does not wish it, that is to say, if the man does not want it, will pass a whole life without looking for it. The last contracted phalanx of the finger of Adam then represents the free will. Another theory teaches us that the red mantle that unfolds behind God and the angels would have the shape of a human brain. The researchers have even managed to distinguish certain parts of the brain, such as the vertebral artery represented by the fiery angel and his green scarf, and the pituitary gland. So this theory suggests that this brain represents God imparting divine knowledge to Adam. There are of course multiple reasons for these theories. The most popular suggests that Michelangelo painted the brain in protest at the church's rejection of science. But that's not all. We can say that the painting is not very angelic in the end, even if we see angels in his work, since we can see a frankly rude angel on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. The Pope who commissioned this work on gel too was very little appreciated, including by Michelangelo. So the artist decided to subtly attack his unpopular patrons by depicting the prophet Zachary in the guise of the Pope. We see the angel Zachary making a very old hand gesture called do the fig, which means far la fica in Italian, in its direction. Today we could compare that to a finger of honor. The Hidden Codes in Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. To say that Leonardo da Vinci raises many mysteries is an understatement. When we try to discover secrets in most of his works throughout history, the Mona Lisa, one of the most famous works of Leonardo da Vinci, a true star of painting, it is the most visited work in the Louvre Museum. The mystery of the Mona Lisa is complex, and surely the reason why it arouses so much interest. One of the questions that often arises is, who is this mysterious, beautiful young lady he painted on his painting? There are several theories about. For one, it would be Lisa Gerardini, the wife of a Florence merchant. Others think she was his mother. But is the character actually a man, or even da Vinci himself? What is certain is that she fascinates art lovers with her enigmatic story, her hypnotic gaze, and her mysterious smile. Over time, a real legend has been built around her and her story. Hundreds of scientists try every day to unlock its secrets. True technical feat achieved by da Vinci. She manages to hypnotize her visitors with a simple look. We really have the feeling of being observed, as strange as it may seem. In fact, this ironic and sad look is an optical illusion created by the Italian artist. She fascinates so much that even Luke Maspero, allegedly an artist of other voices, would have even committed suicide for love for the Mona Lisa in 1852. Crazy, isn't it? This enigmatic lady has, for example, the initials of the raised artist painted in her right eye, but they are microscopic. It is hardly visible to the naked eye. You need Mega HD photos and the right tools to see it. On the other hand, the mystery remains whole on the letters BS or Cil, which is in the left eye. Experts agree that the letters are difficult to read clearly. So did Da Vinci foresee the development of magnification technology? Or do people just see what they want to see? Conspiracy theorists claim Leonardo da Vinci took the painting everywhere with him in his past life. Is he protecting a secret message? Or does he simply protect the final image of his painting? Questions that remain to be elucidated. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. The Da Vinci scene played a vital role in the intrigued Da Vinci Code, and like the Mona Lisa, the painting apparently hides secrets beyond the identity of the characters. The scene would give clues to all that was to come from the last days of Christ until the end of time. The plot in this case does not depend on the characters, but on the buns on the table. This enigmatic painting has been the subject of multiple hypotheses, but one in particular catches our attention since it is a partition really hidden in the famous painting. The Italian musician Giovanni Maria Palla discovered what could very well be a small musical melody is written in this painting. If you draw the 5 horizontal lines on the painting, that you consider the hands of the apostles and the pins on the table as musical notes, and that in the end you aim them from right to left, as Leonardo da Vinci did, these musical notes form a mini melody of about 40 seconds. The scene reviewed and corrected by Van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh, the artist behind these masterpieces that are the Starry Night and self-portraits, also painted the very colorful cafe terraces in the evening. In reality, it may be much more than a simple representation of customers seated at a terrace. Many clues suggest that this painting would be a modern reinterpretation of The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Van Gogh was indeed very religious, and his father was a pastor. As the scene, the image shows exactly all seated characters. He surrounds another with long hair who is standing in front of a window whose uprights form a cross. For others, it is a representation of Jesus Christ and his disciples. Lady X by John Singer Sargent. This woman in front of you, dressed in a beautiful black satin dress immortalized under the name of Madame X, is actually Madame Pierre Gautreau, a Parisian model. John Singer Sargent, painters of the 19th century, had decided to paint a portrait of him in the hope of one day being able to make himself known. The painting there actually made famous, but not in the good sense of the term. In the original portrait, the right strap of Madame Pierre Gautreau's dress hangs over her shoulder, what the spectators of the time found absolutely scandalous. John Singer Sargent may have repainted the ramp in his place. The damage was done and he had to resolve it by leaving Paris. He eventually sold his canvas to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. So things went well for him. The Man in the Mirror by Jan van Dyck. Jan van Dyck, famous painters of the 15th century, could not resist the temptation to slip into his famous portrait of the Arnolfini couple. In a rather discreet act of self-promotion, Van Dyck wrote in Latin, "Jan van Dyck was here 1434" on the wall behind the two figures. The other two characters in this painting are much less visible. If you look closely at the mirror on the wall, you will be able to spot two people who appear to be standing roughly where viewers of this scene would be. Van Dyck is generally believed to be the one with the raised hand. A Raw Skull in the Room. Will you find the hidden skull by Hans Holbein, the young man in his famous painting The Ambassadors? No need for a magnifying glass to find this one. It is indeed quite large. You don't believe me? This beige and black diagonal stain at the bottom of the painting becomes a skull if you look at the painting the right way. Look at the bottom right or left of the image and you will see the skull stand out clearly. Jerome Bosch's Garden of Delights. If we denote many fantasies on this painting, like a man with a flute in his ass, we can also find a real music patrician drawn on the buttocks of another character. A young student had also transcribed it and had baptized it the Song of the Buttocks of Hell 600 years old. Well then, I can't tell you if the music is cool, but there is no doubt that a parody of it exists somewhere. Well, here is our top 10 works of art that hides messages and enigmatic, and that lends itself to interpretation. What do you think for our little starting quiz? The correct answer is Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. In November 2017, the canvas was acquired for $450 million by the Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman. What is the Mona Lisa has become the most visited art object in the world. Its value is immeasurable, it is priceless. But if we were to put a number in front of the Mona Lisa painting, its estimate would be between $1 and $2 billion. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.